Well, let me tell you this, at the start of the season, if you said at this point I would be fighting at the top of the table, I'd have absolutely snatched at the opportunity to be so. But let me tell you this, with the games coming thick and fast, the goals have been coming just as thick and just as fast. So as you can see, after that disappointing loss to Barnsley, we then went on and drew 0-0 with Altrincham, which was disappointing, but we were away from home. We then lost 2-1 to Birmingham in the Virtue Trophy, again irrelevant throwaway game, pretty much rotated. We then beat Port Vale 4-0. Joe Hugill getting all the goals, being a greedy boy. Then we had Shrewsbury at home. I mean, we cut it very late. We were lucky to win. Overall good performances from the boys, as you can see, and left it very late at 91st minute to score the winner. We then managed to beat Oldham 6-1. You know, we turned up away from home and absolutely put in a dominating performance again. Joe Hugill getting 2. And then we just most recently beat Carlisle 4-1. Joe Hugill again getting a hat-trick. So you might be going, actually, what does that mean for Joe Hugill? Well, he's played 18 games in the league and he's scored 20 goals with 2 assists. He is the leading goal scorer in the league, and he is also one of the highest rating performers in the league. Of course, it's not going to show you that because I'm not clicking on the right bits or the right bits of information. And then let me click on, where do we go from here? Fixtures? No. Results? No. I saw it here. I saw it the other day, and I'm sure it was definitely here. Hopefully that continues in today's game. Now, the reason why I bring you to the game against Doncaster today is because if you have a look at the league table, we are currently sitting second. Tranmere today, yes, they have a game in hand, but they play Barnsley. Barnsley beat Tranmere. We make that gap bigger, and we make that gap to 5 points. Of course, if we win today, we make that gap then 5 points from us dropping out of the automatics. If Tranmere somehow manage to beat Barnsley and we win, we then close the gap on Barnsley. If I'm honest, I think I would prefer a Barnsley win over Tranmere and just secure them automatics, if I'm honest. I mean, it wasn't on the cards at all, right? But it's looking ever so likely that we are going to be at least getting a playoff spot. You know, we're 13 points clear of 7th now. So I think playoffs are, it's not in the bag. And I don't want to say that. And of course, we've got an important January transfer window coming up. And the reason why I say that is because we've got the Sharks coming around, right? Let me click go to match. Let me show you Killer Ferrari. He's wanted by every single person and their nan. Look at this. He's got Watford, Plymouth, Hull, Charlton, Bolton, interested in him. Leicester City, Coventry, Burnley. We've got Premier League teams sniffing around him now, which is worrisome. And I told you it was only going to be a matter of time. Same as with Murray Holmes. He's again got many teams interested in him. I think that's a bit of a joke. York are interested in him, and when other championship sides are wanting him as well. So there's not a chance in hell he's going to York, let's all be honest. So he's got Watford, Plymouth, Charlton or Bolton as well interested in him. So we kind of expected one of them to go. If Killer Ferrari goes, at least we've got Ishmael who can come in, and I might actually start Ishmael today against Doncaster so he can get a run out. But I think other than that, we should be okay. I think we can keep one of them, even if we have to sell. If we've got to sell one, I'm not selling both, right? So if one of them goes, if an offer comes in that's too good to refuse, then one of them will go. I'm not gonna risk upsetting the team too much by obviously keeping them here, then becoming unhappy, and then obviously causing some friction in the dressing room itself. Victor Gromek is still not back. He's still going to be out for another 2 to 3 days. He is also wanted, annoyingly so, by York. Again, Enterprise National, he's not going to step down to you, is he? Let's be honest, boys. He's going to be staying with me. But other than that, that's going to be our starting 11 for the game against Doncaster today. So we've got James Wright in goal, Jacob Pinnington, Darnell Johnson, Declan Skara, and Cameron Ishmael at left back. We've then got Dario and Zach Shawaib in that holding midfield roles, with Hayden Murray Holmes in that tip of a three-pronged midfield this afternoon. We've then got Francis and Isaac Holland on either wing, with of course Joe Hugill leading the line. Now, I don't want to change things too much because he's doing really well, but we did offer Hugill a new contract to obviously stay with us for a little bit longer just to try and fend off interest. And I may have not have realised that I actually agreed to play him as a channel forward. Now, I don't really want to annoy him, but also, why change things if it's not broken, right? So I'm just going to leave it and I'll deal with that as it comes up. I think if I say to him, look, you've been banging in goals and you've been playing, what really does it matter? Centre forward, channel forward, they're pretty much much the same, right? With the instructions that we get him to do in the background anyway. So here we go. The team sheets are locked in. I'm going to say I want you to pick up exactly where we left off last time. Go out there and get the 3 points. Really? Oh, it's snow. Is this the first game we've had that's been snowing in terms of an appearance? An appearance in terms of the weather? I think it might be. I don't remember it snowing any other time off the top of my head. Again, there must have been another update. Why has that gone back down to 1 times? There we go, 1.75. Yes, please. But remember, it's an important game today. All eyes on the Transmere and Barnsley game. Because, of course, realistically, like I said, I want a Barnsley win more than anything. But also, we need to keep an eye on Crew. Ismail here, releasing Francis. Francis into Shawai. Back to Ismail. Zach here on the ball. Takes a little bit of composure. Dario just plays it nicely. Back into Ishmael. Plays the ball across. Hugill is there, but unfortunately can't capitalise. Pinnington into Holland. Hugill into Francis. They're linking up nicely. Francis takes the shot and he bends it into the back of the net. 7 minutes in and we're 1-0 up. The snow's coming down. And of course, Francis was as cool as you like with that finish. A lovely bit of play from the forwards. Isaac into Joe Hugill. Hugill into Francis. Francis rolls it, turns his body and goes, yeah, thank you very much. There's enough space there. And bang, into the back of the net. You love to see it. 1-0 up. 7 minutes played. And of course, if the results stay as they are now, Barnsley and Tranmere are drawing. We will close the points on Barnsley a little bit. And of course, get a little bit of gap over Tranmere. Maybe that's the best result. Crew are currently drawing as well. So we would go, what? I've just needed to count that in my head. 3 points clear of Crew as things stand. But as things are, we are doing our job, and that's the most important thing. We're going to stay defensively solid. We're going to be getting them chances, making the most of it. We're actually dominating on possession, which is a rarity for us, especially away from home. I do like having that little bit more of a deeper midfielder now. Just gives us a little bit more control of the ball, and like I said in a previous episode, it just means that the forwards don't have to snatch at the chances, hopefully, as much. They know more chances are going to come. We're going to have that more control, that more possession, so they can hopefully make the most of them a little bit more. As I say that, obviously I realise we've only had one shot on target. Tranmere and Barnsley are now 2-2. Crew are 2-0 up away from at home to Torquay, so we will need to see what that does to the table in a minute. But Shoaib getting a lovely tackle in there, dispossessing the Doncaster player. This is probably just going to play out to the end of the half. But Declan Starr into Johnson, to Dario. We're just playing it around nicely. We're saying, come on, Doncaster, what have you got? And they don't want to come and get the ball. And we go in at half-time, 1-0. Live league table, that means we still will stay 1 point ahead of Crew. So, come on, Torquay, do us a favour. Our rivals from last season get a couple of goals back. But Torquay are sitting 23rd in the league. I'm going to say we're doing well, but I know we're capable of even better. We've not seen anything from Doncaster. The stats aren't really suggesting they've given us anything to worry about. Let's go on out there. We've had some really high-scoring games of late. We've had a 6-1, a 4-0. We had a 1-0, of course, in the 91st minute. Let's go out there and try and get a couple of extra goals and improve that goal difference even more, shall we? Because you never know how tight it is with them playoff, not even the playoff spots, but the automatic spots. It could come down to goal difference, and how heartbreaking that would be if we just missed out because of goal difference. 61 minutes played. I think I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to... Something's happening. Let's go back to the game. Never mind. It's the end of the highlight. I think we might take Hugo off. Give him a little bit of a rest. Isaac Holland's only just come back from injury. Let's bring on Brangenham and play him as a inside winger because that's his more preferred role. And I think that's it for now. Keep Killer off. Let him have a nice rest. Just make them 2 changes. We want the guys to really just stay switched on. Those who have come on the pitch, do your jobs well, do your tracking, run at that back line, stretch them. You know, he's not pressing at all at the minute. I don't like that. But they're in here on goal. Dario, what a lovely, fantastic tackle. It's tackles like that that makes me feel like he should be a permanent addition to the Oxford City squad. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Should we make Dario a permanent addition to the squad? I'm liking what I see, and we need that depth, and he does offer that to us. Ball in here. I don't like that they were Let's praise the boys a little bit. Let's go to cautious. Let's just let them come on to us a little bit. We might actually go time wasting as well. Drop the tempo a little bit and go for a little bit more of a direct passing. Shuaib on the ball. Into Branningham. Pinnington. Back to Shuaib. He's pulling all the strings at the minute. He's the maestro in the middle of the park. Skara, one of his audacious long balls over the top, which did work last time for Hugill, don't forget, but didn't pay off this time. Oh, Darnell Johnson not reading that at all. Right, collect it and then dropped it. How are we having two back-to-back mistakes there? What is he doing? Johnson had it wreck. Awful. Completely messed up Skara as well. Right, had it. That's infuriating. How has that happened? We've dropped down to third and all of a sudden that nice little point gaps that we saw has now completely changed. Let's change it from cautious to positive. Maybe we should have just stayed on balance. Maybe that's on me, but I don't think I can really control them double mistakes that we had. And what is that ball from Pinnington? You moan about you're not playing and then you put balls in like that. No wonder why you're not playing. You got a 6.3. Ishmael and Pennington. There's not really been much attacking or defensively from you two by the looks of it. Ishmael, first time crossing. Take a bit of time and composure. I thought Darnell Johnson was going to lose that again then. I was going to say, hang on a minute, what's happened to Darnell Johnson? Pennington. What? Do you know what? You're winding me up. He'll be lucky if he ever plays for us again. He's been moaning all season about not playing and then he turns up, puts in a 6.3 and every single ball he gives it to the opposition. And then he's given away a penalty. Or was that Johnson who's given away a penalty? I don't know. It was one of them. What is going on here? 1-0 up. We're absolutely cruising. And some absolutely stupid mistakes. Absolutely ridiculous. How can we go round and do this? How the hell have we just done that? I don't know if it was John. No, it can't be Johnson. He's on a 6.8. It wouldn't be a 6.8 if he gave away the pen. We'll have to see what Pennington's rating is when we come back. Dario into Brannington. Lovely. Can we get something back from the goal? We can. From the goal, from the game. Bring it back to 2-2. And that was his pace that you saw there. The absolute blistering pace that he's got. 16 pace. Lovely little bit of play between the two. I do like that as well. Drop it back, stop, and then no one's there because they come out and pressed it. Absolutely beautiful. I don't think we're going to get one. Well, here we go. Can we get a winner? We deserve a winner. Because it's just been individual mistakes that has cost us. The overall team have played well. Dario on the ball. Of course, we're still on time wasting, I've realised. I should probably turn that off. Johnson can't get his head on the edge of the ball. Get rid of time waste. No, we're not going to see the throwing anyway, and that's going to be it. 2-2 in the end. We still claw back a point, which is good, from a losing position. So I'll take it. But we should have never got into that situation anyway. We are 2 points clear. What happened in the game? Tranmere and Barnsley drew 3-3. And Crew won 2-1 in the end. So teams around us are doing well. We're not. Hang on a minute. I'm going to put on here. I'm not happy with your performance out there. You were awful. Your performance was awful and you deserve to come off. I'm fed up with him now. I'm going to put, I thought you did well today because I did think he done well. I don't want to annoy Hugill. And anyway, he was one of the better ratings in the actual squad. I was giving him a rest when we were 1-0 up. I don't know if it was him. I'm very happy about the costly mistake you made today. I think it's worth me telling him that. Johnson fitness issue. I mean, it could come down to this, and maybe we'll rest him in the next game. So we are now unbeaten in 6 following from that draw. So what the plan will be from here is probably skip it forward to maybe, I would say the Tranmere game, but we've just recently seen us play Tranmere, and I don't feel like we should necessarily watch us play them again. When did Tranmere have their game in hand? Okay, so I've been having a look at the fixture schedule. It looks like Tranmere's game in hand is in the week between the Oldham and the Fleetwood game. So what the plan will probably be is I will skip it forward to that Fleetwood game. So Tranmere have played their game in hand. If it's then really tight on points, what I'll do is then I will probably then just skip it forward to the Tranmere game and we'll watch that, because of course that's then going to be an important game. Okay, so I bring us back as we said we would at the Fleetwood game to see what's been going on. Maybe we'll still skip forward to Tranmere, but I'll go through what the plan is with you momentarily. So we went away and beat Mansfield 3-0. They got a player sent off in the 19th minute, so it did make it kind of an easier game for us, so to speak. We sort of strolled through. We scored a 96th minute third, so I mean the scoreline looks a little bit more flattering than it actually was. We then beat Oldham 3-1. We managed to get on the score sheet early and again scored in the 93rd minute. I quite like them last minute goals, or them later or latter part of the game goals that we're scoring. It shows that the team is fully switched on throughout the whole game, not just obviously at the start or in the middle. And what we said we was going to do is we were going to see what Tranmere had done with their game in hand. Now let's have a quick look at the league table. They actually lost that game to Bradford, who are sitting 6th. So Bradford beat Tranmere 1-0 in the end. I've had a look on the actual screen itself. What that means is that Tranmere are sitting on 47 points. We are 4 points clear, but Barnsley have been coming up in all types of form. They are actually only now 3 points clear. So if we actually win this game today and Barnsley drop points, there is a chance that we could actually go top of the league. And that would be a beautiful sight to see indeed. So we are going to play the game today against Fleetwood, and hopefully we can pick up all 3 points. Hopefully Barnsley drop points, and then we do go top. But in terms of your starting lineup, it's pretty much going to be a consistent from what we've seen before. Jay Wright in goal, with Briggs, Skara, Johnson and Killer Ferreri making up the defence. Dario and Shoaib making up the centre holding midfielders. I did bring McEachran in for the last game just to give Hayden Murray-Holmes a rest. I'm going to change that and bring him back into the fold. Isaac Holland and Francis on either wing, with of course Joe Hugill, the main man. He's now on 25 goals and 5 assists. Now you may have seen there's been a new addition to the squad. We brought this guy in. I'm just going to say Josh, if I'm honest. Right now I will check the pronunciation of his surname later on, but Josh has come in. He can play centre back, right back. He's only come in as a fringe player, so he's not too worried about his actual playing or amount of times that he plays. Good Sky Bet League 2, potential to be a good Sky Bet League 1. Gives us a little bit more coverage at centre back rather than just relying on Briggs, so we can use him specifically and have Briggs more as our natural right back. And of course we have got Pendleton, don't forget. He's not really been as impressive as I would have hoped, but remember, he can potentially play all the way across the back, so we do have some additional left back coverage there. Not that we need it, because Calafrieri's been fantastic this season, but so has Ishmael as well. And here we go then, boys and girls. Let's see if we can go top of the league. Let's get in there and say to the boys, I don't want to say I expect to win. I don't want to put too much pressure on there. I'm going to say we could go top if we win. So let's go out there and give a performance that we're happy for. Of course, we can only go top if Barnsley drop points, right? So if Barnsley do draw, or if they win, then we won't go top, but we'll close that gap even further if they were to draw. Especially obviously with the goal difference that we've got as well, it will go in our favour. And Barnsley are playing Burton, and we'll have a look and see where Burton are at the minute. Chapman there taking out Holland quite early on. Holland here with the delivery from a wide free kick into the box. Darnell Johnson's on the back post and he gets it in. The name on the back of the shirt, Darnell Johnson. The absolute rock at the back, still producing the goods. 2 minutes in, and it's a beautiful delivery to that back post. And Darnell Johnson rises like a salmon and heads that in to the far corner. 1-0 up. We are controlling the game. Dario then puts in a tackle of his own and gives them a free kick. Are they going to do the exact same? I hope not, but a delivery deep in our half. They go for a low driven one, pass it back a little 1-2, and it is an immediate response. Fair play to Fleetwood. It's 1-1. Less than 5 minutes played. It's been all goals so far this afternoon at the Fleetwood Town Stadium, but a lot of football still to play. Let's get our noses back in front and then build on that and see if we can dominate this game like we have been many games. 15 minutes played. There's still 0-0 between Barnsley and Burton. Where are Burton in the league? I said we were going to check. They're 21st, and we all know what it's like when you play teams in the bottom half of the table. You don't know what you're going to be getting. I'm going to encourage the boys again. We just need to look at getting our noses out in front. I mean, I feel like that bug's come where there's no sound in the game now because I'm not hearing absolutely nothing. So you're just going to be hearing me potentially rambling on. Northampton are 2-0 up. They're also in the playoff hunts. Stevenage are losing. They're nowhere near it, but that's who we play next. So good to see them losing. Crewe are drawing as well. Let's try and get our noses out in front and get that goal to give us the control of the game. I'm not going to make any changes yet. We'll let this play out. We might, to be fair, we're absolutely dominating on the other possessions, bar the actual possession stat, but I am going to get us to play that ball into the box a little bit more. I feel like we've not had enough highlights to see, so to speak. So I'm just going to say here, of course, the sound comes back in now, right? Okay, so we've been the better team here. Keep going, and we can still get a result. I'm going to say to everyone, they've not been that bad, but they can still improve. Realistically, the only person who's been playing sort of well is Briggs and Darnell Johnson. Everyone else has been putting in a little bit of a lacklustre performance, and we want to see that change in the second half at the Fleetwood Town Stadium. We're obviously away from home, but we're in that beautiful lime kit. And that beautiful lime kit hasn't done us wrong much often before. Skara here. Plays it into Briggs. Are we going to see a dashing run forward? No, we're going to see a nice Skara long ball forward. Joe Hugill lays it off. Oh, I was going to say Francis would have been a beautiful goal with the outside of his boot, but it comes off the crossbar and Joe Hugill is there to smother in the rebound. This would have been an absolute beautiful goal. Look at this. Outside of his boot. Tries to dink it and he just hits the post unluckily, but Hugill, as cool as you like, is there to hammer in home the rebound, and we go 2-1 up and we take control again of the game. We've got a dangerous throw in here. Briggs into Dario. Briggs with the ball across. Unfortunately, a little bit too close to the keeper this time with the delivery, and Francis can't get his head onto the end of that. Darnell Johnson's getting out jumped there. We don't like to see that, but luckily for us, their striker has not got their shooting boots on, and it goes wide of the post. But Jay Wright into Johnson. Johnson into Killer Ferrari. Murray Holmes, the two players that the championship clubs are sniffing around, linking up well there. Will we be losing one of them in the January transfer window? Potentially, maybe both. I hope not. Zach Schweib on the ball. Johnson. It's just a lovely bit of slow build-up play. This is what we like to do. Dario. Briggs. Holland. Plays it back to Briggs. And they're just toying with Fleetwood at the minute. Hugill into feet. I like to see it. Oh, Francis with a long-range effort. And we've seen him score them before. But unfortunately, the keeper smothers that. And he gets a long goal kick downfield. Killer Ferrari wins the header, but doesn't get the second ball. We've got to defend deep here. Briggs with his 17 jumping reach gets rid of it. It comes back in, but Joey Wright had it read the whole time and it goes screaming over the crossbar. 56 minutes played. 2-1 to Fleetwood Town. To Fleetwood Town? No, that's the opposition. To Oxford City. Of course, 2-1 to Oxford City. Dario with the interception. A lovely bit of play there. Into Schweib. Killer Ferrari. Takes on his man, tries to beat him, but puts a cross in. The delivery that was not to be read by Hugill very well, unfortunately. Looks like Williamson here is wasting time for Fleetwood, which is fine by us. Waste as much time as you like. It's been highlight galore. Francis, Killer Ferrari. Is he going to put the ball into the box? He's not. He gets tackled. He gets out to their winger, but then it ends the highlight. Let's make some changes. 65 minutes played. We're going to bring Gromek in. He's just come back from injury, so we're going to get him a little bit of game time. Branningham can come on as well. I might, do you know what? I'll rest Francis. I don't like that there's highlights going on and we can't actually see what's happening. So we're going to click continue and see if anything comes up, but nothing came up. But not continue, confirm subs. 3 attacking subs really, apart from Gromek. So 2 attacking subs. Keep it fresh up there. They're doing a lot of running around, getting a lot of chances. Going to praise the boys again. Barnsley are winning 1-0. So as things stand, we will not go top of the league, but we will just stay 3 points behind unless Burton can get a last minute equaliser. Of course, we need to win our game here. Crewe are drawing to Shrewsbury. So that will mean that a nice bigger point gap is drawing up between us and third. Gromek there. Into Killer Ferrari. What's he going to do with it on the wing this time round? He doesn't get tackled. He gets his delivery in, but no one's there. A little bit frustrating that they've not had a single time that he's put the ball in, that there's not a striker to sort of feed off of that. Darnell Johnson here. That's a That was a dodgy ball, that was. You had a lot of short passes that you could have made there. Like we said, Crew are drawing, so that means we're going to have a 3-point gap from over Crew, which is nice. A Burton equaliser now would be absolutely fantastic in the dying embers of the game. We're just going to see our game out now. Don't time waste more often, and there we go. It looks like it did end Barnsley 1-0 over Burton, but Crew did draw. So in terms of the live league table, what does that do? How did Tranmere get on? They drew again, Tranmere, so they've really fallen off the pace. So to be fair, we've got a 6-point gap now between Tranmere in the playoff spot and us in the automatic promotion spot in second. I'm going to put we didn't play as well as we could, but we still got the result, so well done. One thing I am worried about, and I want to just quickly show you guys before I end this episode, because I feel like this is going to bite us. Look at the club's finances. Now, this has been something that has been an ongoing challenge, right, with Oxford City. Of course, we've not had any cup runs this year. We went out early in the Carabao Cup. We went out in the first round of the FA Cup. So I've not been able to inject any further money in. We're not having enough income in to offset our expenditure. So it now means we're £833,000 in debt. My fear, if an offer comes in for Killer Ferrari, for example, or Hayden Murray Holmes, that say at the latter value, so that 250,000, I hope the club doesn't just accept it, and I really hope the club lets me negotiate. Because if a club wants Killer Ferrari, I want £1 million. That offsets and eradicates all the debt, right? Then we're on a clean slate and we go again. Hayden Murray Holmes, if someone's coming in for him, I want at least 600,000. So what I hope the board doesn't pull this promotion challenge out from under me, and I hope they don't sell players out from under me. But of course, we will see all of that and more in the upcoming episodes. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know in the comments section below. Do you think that the board may obviously take these players away from me without my control or without my say? I really hope they just leave the negotiations to me in terms of the fees that we receive for these players, because what I would ideally want to do is agree to sell Killer Ferrari for like $1 million, but at least have him loaned back for the rest of the season. Let us carry on this momentum and obviously this promotion push, because if we can get up to League One in the first time of asking, we'll be absolutely laughing. But hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Obviously subscribe if you're new around here to carry on and obviously to see what happens, I guess, with Hayden Murray Holmes and Nicola Killer Ferrari. And I will see you in the next one, probably for like a January transfer special. Maybe we might see one game and then obviously see what happens throughout January with regards to transfers. I'll see how things are progressing off camera. But thank you very much for watching.